Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really terrifying story. It weaves together faith, a horrifying betrayal, and a kind of chilling supernatural revenge that all builds to a climax you're not going to forget. Imagine this, a nun tied to a chair in the middle of a violent exorcism, and she speaks in this twisted, vengeful voice. Those are the words she says. It's this cryptic, chilling phrase that, well, ends up sealing the fate of two people. So, how does a young woman, a nun no less, become a host for something so horrifying? To really get it, we've got to go all the way back, right back to the beginning. Okay, so our story kicks off at St. Mary's Sacred Heart Church in Kolkata. You can think of it as a training center for new nuns. And it's here that a 22-year-old girl, Maria, shows up, supposedly to start her new life. Right from the get-go, Maria is a total mystery. The Mother Superior introduces her as a God's special child, but honestly, her whole vibe is anything but blessed. She's just covered in this deep, deep sadness, won't look anyone in the eye, and just immediately hides away in her room. You can just feel the unease spread through the whole convent. And her new roommate, a nun named Ruma, she's the one who voices what pretty much everyone is feeling. She senses this deep disturbance in Maria, a kind of hidden turmoil that goes way beyond just being shy. And yeah, it really doesn't take long for whatever's going on inside Maria to bubble to the surface in some truly, deeply terrifying ways. During the day, Maria is just this quiet, sad newcomer. But when it's time for prayers, it's like a switch flips. She starts mumbling incoherently, almost like she's fighting the sacred words. And her roommate Ruma actually overhears her speaking in this bizarre dual voice, a man's voice. Ruma's suspicion just grows and grows until one night she creeps up to Maria's window. What she sees inside is not a woman praying. Maria is contorted in a chair, her body bent in ways that just aren't humanly possible. And then her head snaps all the way around to face the window, revealing this demonic face that just shatters Ruma's reality. So, of course, Ruma screams. Mother Agnes comes running to see what's wrong. But as she gets close, the possessed Maria just launches herself at her like a wild animal, viciously attacking the Mother Superior and sinking her teeth right into her hand. The evil inside isn't hiding anymore. It's out and it's violent. They try a quick exorcism, but it's a total failure. Whatever this thing is, it's way too strong. So they have to call in the big guns, a specialist named Father Admund, to perform the full ritual. And it's during his attempt that the whole horrifying truth finally comes out. Okay, get this. As Father Admund is chanting the rites, the entity inside Maria starts begging to be released, promising to confess everything. But the scream, it's not coming from Maria. It's coming from Mother Agnes, the very woman who was just attacked, and her eyes have suddenly turned pitch black. Speaking through Mother Agnes, the entity reveals this sickening history. It turns out Maria had a secret affair with a young priest, Father Neil, and got pregnant. Neil panicked, and he and Mother Agnes cooked up this evil plan. They drugged Maria to force a premature birth, then lied and told her the baby was stillborn, but it wasn't. The baby was alive, and they took the newborn and buried it alive in the church graveyard. All that profound guilt and sorrow Maria was feeling, that's what cracked the door wide open for this thing to get inside her. And now it all clicks into place. This thing possessing Maria isn't just some random demon. No, it's a mix of dark spirits and the tormented, vengeful soul of her murdered child, and it is crying out for justice. The entity, now fully in control, makes a demand. It wants Father Neil, the man who fathered and then murdered his own child, brought into the room, right now. When Neil walks in, the sound that rips out of Maria's throat isn't pain or fear. It's a triumphant, chillingly demonic laugh. The final piece of its plan has just fallen into place. As Maria slowly lifts her head, you can just feel this terrifying power fill the room. And suddenly, both Father Neil and Mother Agnes are lifted impossibly into the air, just held there by some unseen force. The entity is showing off its total control now. 2 candles that had been put out suddenly reignite. They shoot through the air like missiles, setting the floating bodies of the 2 conspirators on fire. And with its vengeance brutally complete, the entity just departs. But it leaves behind a scene of utter devastation and scars that are never, ever going to heal. The final tally from that night? 2 fatalities. The architects of the crime, Father Neil and Mother Agnes, suffered a horrific fate, burned to death by a supernatural fire that nobody could extinguish. The tragedy was so scandalous, so horrifying, that it led to the permanent closure of 2 churches. Both St. Mary's Sacred Heart Church and the City Holy Church were shut down, their doors sealed forever. Maria survives the physical ordeal, but she's left a broken woman, haunted by the memory of the evil she hosted and the terrible truth she learned. And even the veteran exorcist, Father Edmund, is left with a wound on his soul. He calls it a nightmare that he can never truly wake up from. And that leaves us with one last, haunting question. What exactly was the force that took over Maria? Was it a purely evil demon just grabbing an opportunity to cause chaos? Or was it something much more complex? Was it the spirit of a murdered child using hellish power to exact a terrible, but maybe, just maybe, a righteous justice from beyond the grave?